Hi folks, I'm Scott Grove, here today to give you some lessons for free. That's right, if you need to check out any of my other free lessons or the lessons you have to pay for, whether it be downloads or DVDs or whatever, there's a link right down below. Just click on it and it'll take you to one of my websites, and you can get all the free lessons you want plus all the paid lessons you want. The request was for some very easy bass stuff. Some people are wanting to know why aren't you doing the more difficult things. It's because the more difficult things are something that if you're ready for them, you should be able to figure them out on your own. Okay, the best way to remember things is to actually figure them out on your own and not use a teacher, or not take sneak peeks off of YouTube, or not buy lessons from me or anybody else. If you're ready for that, figure it out on your own, you'll retain it more. But for those of you who are just starting and such, that's what I'm here for today. Okay, I had a request to help people out in country music and rock music and worship, church music, everything, that are just really getting started on the bass. They're, you know, playing places, but they're just sticking around on that one, meaning your root note. So if you're in the key of G and you have the band playing behind you, say this, and you're just sticking around on G like this, then the band goes up to C and you just go back to G. Okay, so I'm here to help take care of that, and how to put in some nice easy stuff like this that will embellish what you're already doing, but not get too fancy, not get too busy to take away from the melody of what's going on, especially in, you know, worship music and so forth. So for mainly, like I said, the country players, you worship players, even the rock players, anybody that is just stuck on just playing the root note, so whatever key you're in, or whatever chord, you know, the rest of the band is playing, we're gonna cure that here and now. Okay, so we'll get the camera right down here in my crotch where everybody just loves to look. Okay, today we're playing the infamous old, you know, 1981, or I think it is 80, 81, something like that, PVT-40 bass. Good old basses. They'll be around forever. Big old hunk of wood. Okay, so let's go to the G. Let's learn some quick patterns, and then we'll manipulate it into some actual music. Okay, so the G being on your low E string on the 3rd fret. And I'm going to play way up here with my hand just because I don't have split screens and all this junk. So don't play up here. Play back here where you're supposed to. Okay? Okay, so here we are on the G. So your 3rd fret on your low E string. Okay, we're going to play G, C, and D for probably most of this lesson, and you can put it anywhere, of course. It's just a matter of getting our patterns put together. Okay, what I'm going to show you, again, let's just start with this basic country pattern. Okay, so normally, listen to the bass drum. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so you have to also pay attention to, of course, to what's going on with the bass drum. If he's going 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So you got to hit every kick drum note. Okay, but you have plenty of room in there, you know, to fill it up, and that's why we're here, to fill it up. You're tired of playing. It's nice to throw all that kind of stuff in. So let's get to it. Let's create our first box, which is going to be a root, 5th, and a 3rd. What am I talking about? No. Actually, yes. Let's do the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 thing, the do, re, mi. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. It's very elementary, you probably already know it, but it takes 3 minutes to discuss it. If you know it, skip ahead. That's what the bar on the bottom is for. So if we're in G, we're going to go. Okay, so the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, that is very quickly. You can rewind if you need to and count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3rd fret, 1, 5th fret, 2, 2nd fret on the A string, 3, 3rd fret, 4, 5th fret, 5, 6. 6 is going to be the 2nd fret on the D string, then 4th fret on the D string, then 8 is going to be the 5th fret. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that way y'all know what I'm talking about when I say the root, the 3rd, the 5th. If I say the 5th, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's get our shortcuts so you don't have to count it down every time. 1 is the key of the song you're in, the root. 4 is always going to be straight down, just to the next note, 1 string down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the 4 is always going to be straight down. I know this part is boring, but you must know it. 1, 4, 5, 4, 1. Okay, bass players are known for playing root 5th, meaning root, the key you're in, then the 5th, then root, 5th. Play it along to that beat, and you have root, the 5th, and root, and 5th, and root, and 5th, and root, 5th. Okay, so that's what bass players are mainly known to be doing, especially in country music, okay, and all kinds of other music. But this is the foundation of the easy part, and then we're going to grab all these other things, all the notes actually, except for the 7. We're going to actually flat that 7 in a second. So we got root, 5th. Okay, now it's nice to put a nice little skip in there, a hop, skip, and a jump. Root, root 5th, 5th root, root 5th, 5th root, root 5th, or 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5. Okay, so you're not just going 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. Okay, so you've already got a bounce created. 1, 1, 5, 1. Okay, so 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1. Okay, so nice and easy with this beat. Come back at me. Okay, so let's grab it from here. Here we go. Root, root 5th, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5, 5, 1. Okay, so you've got that is a nice easy way. That is a kind of a sitting on the dock of the bay thing. If you want to create the rest of that, you actually add the 4 in there with it. Okay, instead of when you're going up to the 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, which I told you was just straight down. So you do this, put the 4, and then we do what's called a hammer on. Okay, so you have a finger on the C note, or the 3rd fret of the A string, and then you actually take any finger, whether it be your pinky or whatever you can reach, your ring finger, slap it on there, or actually what's called hammer it on to the 5th fret of the same string, on the A string. So So you only hit it once with your finger over here on your right hand. Okay, so that gets you your actual sitting on the dock of the bay thing, and now you have 3 notes that you can play. Okay, and let's go ahead and put that together real quick, just to say we did it. 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 5, 1, 4, 5, 5, 1, 5, 1, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1. Now shut up. You notice a couple little things there. Of course, the bass is the one instrument other than steel guitars and so forth, which are expected to do little slides now and then, but not all the time, because it will drive people nuts if you're always going. Nothing gets older than that, because then they know the bass player don't know what he's doing. He's just looking for something to do. He don't know any licks, so he just goes. Okay, so that gets old, but you can. You know, slide up into them. Okay, so just sliding up. That's actually a flatted 7. Going back 2 frets, just like you're going back 2 frets here. Okay, so you're going back to the 1st fret. You don't want to slide from the open. It's just typically not done, but it's music, you can do whatever you want. But that's typically where you would go to. It's actually called the flatted 7th, which is this, since I'm talking about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of going 7, you go back 1. And an octave takes you back to here. So that's actually an F note, takes you to F here, so flatted 7th. So it's best that you know all your notes. Try to learn them as you go. Anything you print out on the internet will tell you what the notes are, being that this is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, but we're not going to use it. We're going to use F, and then back at the G. Octaves are simply G, skip a string, go to the D string, and go to the 5th fret. Okay, you have to know that. That is also called your 8. Your 8 equals 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's back where you started from. Okay, so if you're doing this, it only makes sense that you also use the 8 or the 1 again in the exact same way as you're using your first one. So okay, see what I did there? Okay, so you can actually, instead of coming back down to this low G, you can come up to the octave higher. Okay, and since you can actually have a finger waiting here at the 5th fret on your A string, you can flatten it out. Then you can kill it with your right hand, hit that octave or the G note, kill it, then hit the 5th fret again, but on the A string, kill it again, then you're back to your nice little thing to get used to playing. Okay, you can even sit there and just play it just for fun, just to get your fingers working and to know that this is your first little box, and you have, and same thing for going up to your octave. Going to the D string, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the flatted 7, and up to 8. So you have root 4 or 5, flatted 7 to 1 or 8. Okay, so you have a box, meaning you have this group of frets here. You're playing on this dot and on this dot. You're playing everything so far except for your low E string on the 5th fret. Okay, so any little thing like this I do, jump in because there's going to be a bunch of information really fast. These are all hammer-ons. Okay, what good is that? It's what good you make it. Okay, again, there are no set laws here. These are suggestions. Okay, but these are things to get you out of that whole root funk. How can we apply this? Let's find out. Okay, what was that? Do-do-do-do-do. Showed you already. Okay, so there are only a certain amount of notes in the whole world. There's only 12 notes in the world. It's just a matter of what order you put them in. Is all I did was 4, 5. I'm going to call it 7 from now on, even though it's a flatted 7. Okay, I'm just going to call it major 7. Actually, is what it is. So 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, or 1. Back to the 7, and then back to the 1. Okay, so work on that one. That's a good one. And depending on how you work with your fingers over here, I don't know if you're using a pick or a finger, and it actually doesn't matter, except for if you're using a pick for whatever reason. It's not a no-no, but they just offer different sounds. Usually failed guitar players end up using picks, but then again, picks are great for stuff when you have to get that sound. It gives you a really crispy sound instead of the more mellow sound of you using your fingertips. But how do you get a cool sound from this? That's when you start learning to slap. Okay, whole different ball game. That video is available, and you can find out how to slap for free anywhere from some of the people on YouTube. Anyway, so let's get back on track. So you have that box to work out of. Now let's get you out of the box just a little bit, and I want you to play backwards, starting from the 1 or the 8 way up here. Okay, this is just a quick lick. I show this all the time, whether it be on bass or guitar, because this is a universal lick that everybody needs, but it's a great fill-in lick. Okay, so let's start from the 8, or the 1, 7, 5, back up to 7, back to 5. These are not what frets they're on, these are the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8, flatted 7, 5, 7, 5, 4. Now this one don't even exist. Okay, we're going down to the 1st fret, of the A string, then back to your root note. Okay? Slide it from the 5 to the 4, then play the first note on the A string, then finally back to your G note. Okay? That's a nice little thing to come back into. Is chromatically means, or chromatic means every note. So from the 7 or the F sharp, so you just do every note up to your root note. Okay, ballroom blitz, ballroom blitz, if you're old enough to remember that. Okay, so the note or the lick ends up being what's that? That's just the one I showed you before. 4, 5, 7, 8. Just played really fast. So use your imagination. I've given you the notes. You get to learn how to apply them to different styles of music. Okay, so that's everything I've taught you so far. It's just using your imagination and playing them fast or playing them however. But that is your box, but I just took you outside of the box by giving you the one extra note. Okay? That's actually a flatted third. Okay? 1, 2, 3. You flat the third. That actually makes it what is called a minor third. Okay? That's all you need to know. It's also out of the blues scale. Okay? So that's what that is. It's just called a flatted third. Take a third, then you flat it. Okay, so it is part of the whole musical theory thing. Okay, now let's get some more notes in here so I can actually show you some more patterns. Okay, I want to give you all the notes that you can possibly play, not that possibly play, but to get you by for this particular lesson. The other ones are going to be get up to this G string. Okay, so now we have the exact same notes, but now let's start here, the octave higher. We started third, our 3rd fret. Then we know the 5th fret on the D string is another G, but it's an octave higher. Now we can actually do the exact same thing again. Start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we run out of notes. That's okay. That's all the further you need to get. Okay. And I'll show you a couple more notes to add, but do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now you have all those notes to add. Okay. Okay, what good are those? All kinds of good. Now let's do a couple more things and I'll show you how to use them. Okay, so you have those extra notes. They're exactly the same as the others, but an octave higher. Okay, but now we also need to go. Okay, so from the 4, remember this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is just always straight down. Now from the 4 we're going to the flatted third. A hammer on to the 3rd. So that's actually from the 3rd fret of the G string, hammering onto the 4th fret. And then back to the root. Okay, here's a cool way to get that. Is go root, then 4th, just by flattening your finger out. Root, 4th, root, then flatted 3rd, hammer onto the 3rd. Root. You can do it down here. Okay, so same thing. But if you're playing or change chords. But anyway, so that gives you a buttload of places to play in order to get off of the root note. Okay, so that's a lot of information. Use your backward, use your pause, use your rewind, whatever. But anyway, let me show you just a freeform nothingness. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet other than use just those straight notes with that little country beat. But I'm going to use all this stuff I showed you, okay? Here's the root fifth. Now, fourth with the hammer on. Now, so I just use the 8 with the 7. Check that out. Okay, so some of it was kind of, out there, but it gives you stuff to choose from, and you see how I used everything that I've showed you, just playing that lame country beat. I can't say really lame because there have been 3 million country songs written at that exact same speed with that exact same beat. Okay, so let's find just a slightly, I was going to do another thing, but let's don't. Let's go right up to the next chord change. Okay, well, we still have this. We can change beats all we want, but the important part is what to play here. Okay, so let's get up to the key of C. So I'm going to let this play. So we're going to be in the key of G just like normal. Now I'm getting up to C. Okay, simple walk up. Just, okay, now we're actually going to use the box to fill it in with that second fret or the 2 of the scale. So G, our 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all it is to get from the 1 chord to the 4 chord. The 4 chord meaning the C. Now when you get to that next chord of the song, now everything takes on a life of its own again. Now this is your 1. Okay, as far as all your licks and your notes go. The song is always still going to be in the key of G, and you are playing in the 4 now. But now think of everything, because now you're in C. So everything that I just showed you now applies, but this is home base. So now you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now everything changes. Now you can play here. Okay, now your root fifth. You don't have to play it there anymore. Your 5th is also, now that you're off of the low E string, you're playing on your A string. Your 5th is always going to be straight above. Now your 4 is down here. Okay, same as, here's your 1 now in C. Down is 4. So it's just an octave. Okay, so now remember you have low notes to play now, so now you can play your 5th, 2, 3, 4, 5, a low one here, so which is typical. Okay, so remember that you have 5s all over the place. Now, well, you got 2 of them that you can think of right away. The one we've been doing, because when we were on a 4-string bass, if you have a 5-string, hey, you're lucky. You get to jump up and grab that other low D note way up here. But since I'm on a 4-string today, as soon as you move down to this A string, can get that low fifth. Okay, and all that walk up is going from 5, 6, now your real 7, major 7th, 8th. It's no flatted 7th. It's a whole different ball game when you're doing a walk. This is a walk. So we're doing 5, 6, 7, 8 back, or meaning your 1. Okay. So let's get back to this and walk up to the from the 1, meaning in the key of G, up to the 4, the key of C. Okay, so here we go. And 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, G. Now we'll walk up to C. Back to G. Up to 5. 4. Back to 1. Back to 5. 5 down. 1. Okay, so you already know, if you've been playing with people, how to do the root notes. So that you've already been doing G, 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 and C, 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 and C, 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 and D, 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 and C, D. Okay, so now we're getting away from that. Okay, so very basic stuff, but this is the building blocks to getting you off of that stuff. You know, okay, so you're bored. I don't blame you. You know, bass can be so easy, and sometimes less is more. Try to tell girls that, they won't believe you. But Gene's licking my bass. He has a habit of doing that. I don't know, every time I decide to do any kind of thing that might happen to do anything with any type of worship music or the likes, Gene Simmons always ends up on my shirt. Okay, it's time for a drink. That's right, we're going to be good Christians, we gotta have a drink. Arizona green tea with ginseng decaf, believe it or not. If anybody ever wants to know, no, I do not do any drugs. I do, except for prescription junk from strokes. But of course, no alcohol, or I would be dead. I'm just naturally this goofy and naturally this guitarded. That's right. Okay, so let's get back on it. If you are in any of these, let's say back to the G. Okay, now I showed you that you could do the, okay, do the notes that are up higher with the octave. Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay, you have all these other runs that I showed you. Let's just do a couple more things that are kind of cool that we will transfer over to some better or just more fun drum licks. Okay. Okay, same thing that we've been doing, but just to make you think differently. Okay, so you got your root, now your fifth, root, fourth, root, hammer on from your flatted third to your third, back to the root. Okay, root, root, fifth, root, fourth, root, hammer on from flatted third to third, back to root. Okay, so you can use your imagination, but that's another just thing that shows you that the same notes that we're already using, you can use them in so many different ways. Be creative and come up with your own stuff. all these notes are what are called safe notes. They are all in the major pentatonic scale and the blues scale. The blues scale, the only difference is you have the flatted third. Okay, okay, and don't forget, like guitar players, you can bend notes anytime you want, but you have to be good at it, on bass especially, and don't do them very often. The one little lick where I showed you was okay. That flatted third sounds great if you bend it down towards the floor. It's the hardest to do because it's on the first fret and it takes all your energy. You might use two fingers. It's taking it from the flatted third, just like you're doing the hammer-on, but going, bending it towards the floor. And be careful about bending a root note too. Just maybe give it a warble, which is actually called just a little vibrato. Okay, without actually bending the notes going. That would sound horrible. Okay, so okay, let's get on with some different type of drum tracks. Let's do. Yes, and we are sitting here with the lovely Casio of some sort. You know, they always got these great drum tracks in. But right now the little missus is asleep, so I don't get to pump out the big stuff through the good speakers, so we're playing nice and soft. Let's see what we got here. Let's pump it up. Okay, good old straight rock beat. Okay, same exact rules apply. Let's keep it in G one more time. And let's just see what comes to my head when I crank this drum beat on. So nothing different than what I've showed you. Okay, so what is that? So the 1 flatted 7th, the flatted 3rd, flatted 3rd, then your flatted 7th, chromatically up to your 1 again. And same thing here. Okay, up to the 4, back to the 1, then the hammer on from flatted 3rd to 3rd, then same stuff I've been showing you. So nothing different. So it's just a matter of what you decide to put them to. Okay. That is most of it. Only other thing are other keys. Okay. So take the whole thing and let's just put this thing up into. Let's go to something different. Okay. Just to mess your mind up. Let's go down to E. Okay. Because now you're stuck thinking because you're not fretting something. It's not so easy to go. Okay, now you're going to go to E. Now what do I do? Oh, holy, well, now it gets different. Okay, but you have a couple places that you're going to remember are safe for you. You're in E. Remember, your 4 is straight down, so that just means I got an A, and my 5 is just 2 more frets up. And 4, 4, 4, 4, 1. So my root fifth, I'm safe. I'm hammering on from my 4 to my 5. And that's right. Skip a string, go up 2 frets. So instead of open, E, I skip the A string, go up 2 frets on the next string, your D string, you have your octave. And what's that mean? That's your 8. If you let off of it, that's your flatted 7. That gets us that lick again. So what is that? 8 or 1, pull it off. Now 5, back up to that flatted 7. 5, pull it off. Now grab the 3rd fret, which is actually your your 3rd, flatted 3rd. Give it some wiggle. The actual 3rd would be up to your 4th fret. And back to open. Okay, now you're same thing. You have your E now. Now you're good to go. Okay, remember this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're in safe territory, but you were in open strings. Okay, so that gives you a quick out. So there you're familiar with what to do with open strings now. So root, 5th. Okay, see? Okay, now your other things from root. Okay. Okay, that's your flatted 3rd to your 3rd and back to root. 1, 2, not quite 3. Hammer on. Okay, so that's just getting you into that stuff. So if you're in E, you can actually go root an octave. Okay, that real quick one, since that's louder, I'll turn that down. That's just simply 4, 5, hammer on, then flatted 7. Okay, same thing. Okay, if you need this stuff, this will help you out. Octaves. Okay, I just did the flatted 3rd because we're in E now. So I'm going up to the flatted 3rd, which we established already. 1, 2, 3. Nope. So we're going to use the flatted 3rd. I'm going to do the G and the octave down to the 2 and the octave, and then the E back to 1 and the octave. Okay, so just quickie. Since you have no way from going E down to anything lower unless you have a 5 string. Okay, so your E, You don't even have to do the disco sound and boom, 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 boom. You can just play one note. But it gets you off of just doing the one note. Okay, and that's our main concern. Back to drums. Okay, so to hear it really well, so the other notes I'm playing up there, those are just the same notes as before. They're E, your 1, then your 4, A. I just went ahead and did A up here instead. Then your 5, which we are always welcome to play root 5th, is a B note. I just played up here the 7th fret. So I'm just going just the notes that are in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat, 7, 8, and playing them all in one string. Okay, so think of these things. They're all right here. It's all a matter of those numbers. Okay, so let's work a little more with something that might be kind of fun. Chords. Okay, everything that you've already learned so far creates a chord. Very rarely will you use a chord as a chord, but you might need it sometime. It's best to play them on higher strings. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the first bar chord, and then we'll do a 2-note little chord that is very associated with bass guitar. So these are things you can actually use, not just things to annoy people. Okay, so a typical bar chord would be played, since it's a bass, you would have to play it pretty high in order to make it sound well. Okay, so let's go to that E, but we have to play it higher. So we're going to go all the way up here on your A string to the 7th fret. Okay, the only other thing you have to do is cover your 5. Okay, remember, if you're here on 1, 4 is straight down, and 2 more up is your 5. So cover your 1, cover your 5. Now if you flatten that out, you can actually cover the 9th fret also on your G string. So you can hit your low E if you want. So if you have like a 3-piece band or something, sometimes it's useful to do this. Or you can play with 2 fingers, use your pinky and your ring finger and this. Okay, so those are bar chords. Okay, now that you have that, they're just useful every now and then. So just know that that's all there is to a bar chord. If you need it, there it is. It's a matter of what you do down here and come up with yourself. I'm giving you a quick lesson. Take your pinky off, back on. Okay, so I'm hammering on both fingers. I'm hitting a low string. Okay, now the thing I was going to say, which is very synonymous with bass guitars is playing this 2-note little thing that actually has the root and the third in it. Okay, and you have to go way up high to make this sound good. Okay, so let's go to, okay, we're doing the low E still, and on your D string, I want you to go up to the 12th fret, which is going to be a D because everything starts over again at the 12th fret. What do you got to do to get to an E from there? From D, D sharp, and E. Yeah, so we're all the way up here to the 14th fret. What I'm going to have you do is use your middle finger on the 14th fret. So now we have a low E with our thumb, and then this high E note way up here on the D string, and we need to find our third. How do you do it? Same as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is very useful in soloing. So remember that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but the thing I was going to show you is the root and the third. 1, 2, 3. So the third is going to be your 13th fret on your G string. So you have 14th fret for your E on the D string, and I want you to use your middle finger there, and then the 13th fret on your G string. Okay, that's just a great way to end a song. How is that? Because you get to the end of a song and that's right, you start with the whole thing back 1 fret, hit both strings at the same time, preferably with the back of your fingernail. Okay, so the low E is ringing, or however you want to hit it. There's with my thumb. Okay, so you hear that all the time. It's just sliding into home. Okay, so and you're and then the big slide, and I actually just went up to the E, 12th fret. Don't just slide for the sake of sliding, go somewhere. Go to the note, go to the E. Okay, so there's about as much as I can actually toss into a whole hour for you. So I know it's a bunch of rambling and a bunch of random junk to be tossed at you, but I wanted to throw as much stuff in there and as much ideas as I could based around a major scale, and show you how to kind of just get off of those notes and how to just count to 8, okay, and learn to play in that box. Then the big box. She needs love too. Ain't that right, Gene? Okay, so there you go. Basics. Okay, so that'll get you out of the rut. Even if we're back to, as I have like 2 minutes left. Yes, I'm going back up and trying to find that country sound thing, because since it's the easiest thing for us to actually work on. Excuse me while I belch all over the place. Okay, so let's say we're in E. Up to A, back to E, back up to B, A, E, okay, so you have all kinds of things to do. So work with all that knowledge. There's a bunch more to be had, of course, but for an hour's worth of time, You could probably spend, 10 hours just learning what I've showed you. But the main thing is to look at my pretty face. Take all those ideas and do what you will do with them, okay? You already know what you're playing. Again, this was a request to just get me off of the root notes, okay? So there you go. Tons of ways to get you off the root notes. You know the songs that you're playing and how busy you can or can't be. But if there's a hole, you can fill it, okay? And it don't have to be all over the place. I'm doing it all over the place just to show you how many choices you have, okay? Even if you only use 2 or 3 of those notes per song, here and there, at least you are getting off of the root note, okay? I went overboard so you can go underboard, reel it back in and put it in the realms of taste and whatever kind of music it is that you play. So again, if you're playing worship music, you probably don't want to get too awful busy. But then again, you have 30 more notes to choose from. No, 29 more notes to choose from because you're only playing 1 note at a time. So pick 2 or 3 of them and add them in. Okay, so you have a lot of ideas. Work on them within the confines of your music, your arrangements, what you have to do at your particular gig, or don't have a blast and blow the rest of them out of the dump. All of a sudden you're Jaco Pastorius, if you're too young to know who he is, Googling or YouTubing better and watch the boy play. Boy, it's amazing. Him or John Entwistle, and you don't have to be those guys, but hopefully this will just be some insight to what is yet to come. And the best thing you could do is take what I've shown you today and think about it before you ever even buy one of my videos. If you never do, that's totally fine with me. If you take this and learn enough from it, you won't ever need anything else. You can actually think this stuff through. Like I said, there's only 12 notes in music. It's a matter of what order you put them in. So if you can't play 12 notes, you need some different kind of help than a music teacher will be able to teach you. Okay, so hopefully your creative juices will start flowing and you got to change your shorts, and that's the best thing that can happen to you. You know, get that flood of musical knowledge. Now it's knowledge, but the best thing instead of the knowledge is to get that inspiration that will make you want to play more and more. And you'll say, okay, I don't want to play E here anymore. I want to play E here. I want to play E here. No, I want to play E here. I want to play E here. Learn where they're all at, and then start counting up from your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And remember, you got a low string to practice with. Amazing grace, and figure out stuff like that on your own. There's nothing there that I didn't show you, so learn on your own. Okay, that's the best way to remember things. Okay, thanks for spending the hour with me, and I hope for my one buddy that I actually did this video for, that will help you out in some way, shape, or form. Once again, I'm Scott Grove. Click the link below. There are all kinds of free lessons. Just look where it says free lesson clips, and that's where they're at. And lots of the paid ones too, and you can get them for $4 for a download. So go get them. Talk to y'all soon, and happy picking. Bye bye.